Thank you very much for committing your time today to learn about the arts in Western Australia, and more specifically to hearing largely about the histories of various creative practices that have taken place in this state. Today, you'll gain insights into the history of my institution, the Art Gallery of Western Australia, hear the history of a musical instrument, understand how writers have seen and depicted Western Australia, hear about theatre productions and dance, and the creativity that underpins computer games, and you'll experience some wonderful live music performances. Most presenters will be talking to you about the past, which is also my area of expertise and passion. For me, one of the great things about understanding the past is that it helps us to understand the now, and it gives us skills to engage with the future. And equally, one of the great things about understanding art, in its broadest expression, is that it also helps us to understand the now and engage with the future. So, diverting a little bit from my normal field, what about the now? What might be going on in today's arts landscape that is relevant to what you will hear today? Thinking about this, I arrived at two linked concerns. Well, at least for me, they were concerns. One is education, the teaching not only of history, but also the practice of creativity, learning to become a painter, a scriptwriter, a musician, a dancer, an actor, and so forth. Having been of the generation that was lucky enough to benefit from free tertiary education, I draw on that invaluable training. Yes, bring it back, I say. Every day, I use the creative, critical thinking skills that I was taught to navigate and understand the world around me. But I would suggest that we are failing younger generations in that respect. It's not too strong, I think, to say that I've been horrified to hear of Western Australian schools winding back the arts as part of the core curriculum for students. A quick check of the WA Department of Education website confirmed that the push is indeed purely for STEM, i.e. science, technology, engineering and maths, as essential for the job market. Arts has become a specialist program, pushed to the side, a non-essential. So I did a quick check of Australian graduate employment outcomes for 2022 to see how essential STEM is currently for the job market. Unsurprisingly, following the pandemic, and I think probably given this country's ageing population, dare I say, the most employable qualifications were medicine and pharmacy. Not too far behind, but on level pegging were the humanities and science. If one looks to the statistics for further study, again, unsurprisingly, most students, 30% of them, chose health, but the next highest field of study was society and culture at 21%. Only 5% chose to study engineering. So to my mind, so much for STEM being essential to employability. For me, what is concerning about the focus on STEM is what is lost from education. For me, that is what is at the heart of the matter. And I guess this is my second concern. It's the loss of valuing of human creativity. This is, in part, what the strike action being undertaken by the Writers Guild of America is about. One of their concerns is the long-term impact of the development of AI on their industry. The belief that artificial intelligence can write compelling stories as well as a human can. And of course, they can do it much more cheaply. So currently, AI output is the result of mining data from existing creative work made by people. In my field of visual art, you can, for example, go to a website and generate Van Gogh-style images. AI will even change works of art by Van Gogh for you. It'll extend the frame of the image to include more of what the artist in his era clearly left out from the landscape, and so forth. Nice gimmick. It completely misunderstands and misrepresents Van Gogh, and it's definitely not art. What AI, for me, denies in its promise of an easily accessible replicant world is that art is made by a different type of intelligence, creative intelligence. This is the intelligence that artists have and that we should be teaching to students so that they can negotiate the challenging future we face. Creative intelligence promotes thinking that embraces invention, complexity, innovation, flexibility, and it loves abstract, open-ended questions. In my research about the impact of AI on the arts, I came across a response to this issue by the Australian singer-songwriter and amazing wordsmith, Nick Cave. He'd been sent lyrics of a song generated by AI in the style of Nick Cave, and this is some of what he said in reply. What ChatGPT is, in this instance, is replication as travesty. It may be able to write a speech or an essay or a sermon or an obituary, but it cannot generate a genuine song. Songs arise out of suffering, by which I mean they are predicated on the complex internal human struggle of creation and, well, as far as I know, algorithms don't feel. What he emphasises is precisely the critical role of creative intelligence in the production of art. Art requires authentic human experience. It's the opposite of easy. It's damn hard work. So listening to today's lineup of speakers, each with their own individual lived experience of a diverse range of creative work in Western Australia, you'll have a richer understanding of the importance of the arts to this state. You'll know how uniquely artists bring an understanding of place to a wider audience. They capture and communicate what it is to be of a time and place. They draw from their own human experience to speak to us of our shared experiences and emotions, of love, betrayal, hope, despair, frustration, joy, sadness, even boredom. You know how essential the arts are to a well-lived, intellectually rich life, and I would encourage you to be fierce advocates for the arts and art making. Support investment in experimentation and risk-taking and place-making. Keep going to the theatre. See Australian films. Encourage the playing of Australian-made computer games. Listen to a concert. Read a book. Visit museums and galleries. Above all, participate and enjoy. Thank you.